There's a voice in my chest I keep shoving away. Says you're tired, but I whisper I'm okay. Been smiling like it's currency, traded for peace. But the interest is piling and I can't find release. My body clocks out long before 5. But the hustle don't care if I'm barely alive. Burnout wears a suit, speaks soft like a friend, till I blink and forget where the week even went. Called my mom but couldn't speak loud. Held her silence like a blanket in the crowd. I miss her cooking and a soft be safe, but pride's a jail I decorate like grace. I'm not looking for a miracle, just a pause, a breath untouched by urgency or cause. Time to look in the mirror and not flinch, to reclaim even 1 inch. Still I water what's left of my life. Even if joy only visits some nights, I'm here, not perfect, not whole, but still fighting for control. Bank app glows like a warning light, whispering what I owe. I feel the pulse of bills in my chest, heart drawing shallow breaths. Fingers shake on the calculator, debt stacking in my mind. Yet I breathe in, searching for soft space between each anxious sign. This economy of cluttered invoices and bruised self-worth wears me thin, but my soul still believes in gentle dawns after midnight's been. Emails from work spilling the dreams, notifications never sleep. I drag through Zoom fatigue, carry exhaustion in my bones deep. Burnout blooms and coffee stains, afternoons turn into haze. My spirit scribbles prayers and margins of weary days. I hold hope like a ship's anchor, small, unassuming, unseen, trusting that steadiness grows in silence between the screens. I walk the worn path of my street, wind carrying stray confessions. Loneliness carves itself into the concrete of my empty sessions. I've joined all the calls, smiled in every social life. Still I crave someone who hears the ache that lives at night. Connection isn't emojis or cursive I miss you lines. It's a voice that trembles too, and a hand that matches its signs. Oh, I fold my shame into softness, whispering truths to the dark. I'm tired of pretending strong, I'm just a fragile spark. I phone a friend, hands tremble, holding breath before hello. They answer, I miss you too, and warmth begins to flow. That shared sigh cracks the hardened shell I built alone. And for a moment, the world shrinks to comfort that's grown. Now I trace my palm against my heart, a promise in the skin. To breathe through the wreckage, let clarity settle in. I plant seeds of mercy in the ash of burnout's flame. Carry hope into my ledger, rewrite my shame. Tonight I rest in quiet grace I found between my fears. Trust tides of healing carry me beyond the sum of tears. Oh.
Shoes by the doorway gather dust, proof that hurry bound to rust. I wear my tide like a heavy coat, still somewhere under embers flow. Each breath fans a hidden spark, glowing small inside the dark. Talk is cheap, so I speak and gaze. Let my eyes translate the maze. When love is scarce, I trace its line in quiet gestures, hands entwined. Silence carries a richer tone than words that crack like brittle bone. I'm not the headline I plan to be, but softer now and more like me. Healing is not an upward flight, it's learning to rest inside the night, counting seconds without demand, letting the universe hold my hand, hold my hand. Evening news shouts thunder and fear. I lower the volume, keep music near. A vinyl scratch, a velvet chord reminds my pulse I'm still adored by rhythms older than my doubt, spinning stories from within and out. I water the plant that almost died, apologize for the weeks I lied, promising care I never gave, yet its green remains quiet and brave, teaching that growth forgives delay and greets return without dismay. No, no fireworks, no sweeping end, just another breath I choose to defend. I'm worn, but warmth expands inside, like sunrise finding a place to hide. Not weak, resilient and real, love is the ember I choose to feel. Oh.
Check my bank, still no glow. Check my spine, been too low. Check my eyes, tied from screen. Check my hole, half washed, not clean. Dinner was toast and quiet TV. Watch characters feel more free than me. But even then a small laugh cracked like sunlight on a window I'd long packed. I folded clothes I never wear, just to prove I still repair. Small acts of staying close to breathe, catching joy from underneath. No answers, just evening dust, floating where I once placed trust. But here I am, broke but brave, still finding ways not to care. If healing hides in mundane days, then I've been closer than I'd say. So I'll return tomorrow to this place and meet myself with slower grace. I folded clothes I never wear, just to prove I still repair. Small acts of staying close to breathe, catching joy from underneath. No answers, just evening dust, floating where I once placed trust. But here I am, broke but brave, still finding ways not to care. Catching joy from underneath. No answers, just evening dust, floating where I once placed trust. But here I am, broke but brave, still finding ways not to care.
The laundry set 3 days untouched. Like most of me, waiting too much. Sun fell on the floor in a crooked line. I watched it shift like borrowed time. Oh, there's comfort in this quiet mess. Not perfect, not clean, but nonetheless a kind of truth in undone things, like half-read books and tangled strings. I don't need wisdom every hour, just moments that don't devour, like tea dawn cold but still sweet, or breathing with both shoes off my feet. Every bill I pay feels like a bruise. Every scroll, another life I lose. But I lit a candle just to see if warmth could still live quietly in me. Oh, to bear, but softness isn't weakness, it's care. And if today is all I make it through, then I'll say that it was something true. Oh, they raised us to chase a dream we can't afford, stacking hours just to cover what's ignored. I smile while my spirit's out of breath, sleepwalking through the life I got left. Friday feels like coming up for air, but Monday's always waiting in despair. We carry phones but no one really calls, scrolling past each other like distant stars. I miss slow mornings and crowded cafes. Now it's bills, notifications, and haze. My soul's not broke, just buried too deep under weight of promises I couldn't keep. If peace is somewhere between silence and sound, then let me sit still, let me lie down, let the world turn without me for a while. I'm relearning how to breathe without denial. Even with all these cracks in the marble, I'm still a statue, still standing noble. I may cry in quiet, but I rise in rhythm. That's the shape of healing. I live in the middle. No one's got it all, despite what they post. We're all just learning what matters most. And maybe that's enough, even when it's not. I still light a candle, even when it's hot. Whoa.
I stood on my balcony at 2 a.m. Watched the silence folding in again. The city's noise had finally slept, but my worry still hadn't left. Street lights flickered like they knew the ache I hid, the days I pushed through. I whispered to no one I'm room hums louder than the street. Thoughts echo through the bedsheet. Been texting ghosts I shouldn't chase. Searching comfort in old embrace. Bills stack like guilt on the desk. Food gets cold and I forget to rest. They say pray, say it'll turn around, but faith don't always make a sound. I used to write songs about spring. Now I just mumble and barely sing. Everything's a loop, nothing new, but I'd still give the sky one more hue. I crave softness more than success. To lay on a lap, confess the mess. To not be the strong one for change. To be loved even when I'm strange. Maybe healing isn't near to clear. Maybe peace just starts with being near to yourself, to breathe to some truth, even when life don't ask for proof.
Unplug the noise, dim the phone. Let the TV speak in undertone. My limbs sag into the old brown couch. No hero pose, just honest slouch. There's takeout on the table, barely warm. I eat slow, no appetite to perform. My bank app's open, another side. Why does surviving always feel like a lie? A breeze leaks through the window crack. Sounds like a hymn, brings feelings back. Not joy, not grief, just something light. Like breath that finally slept last night. I used to plan my next 10 years. Now I just hope for quiet tears. On days when nothing quite aligns, I count small mercies like lifelines. And maybe that's the only song we hum to feel like we belong. A song of staying, aching, trying, but never fully ever dying. My feed is full of smiling lies, but my room's still dark at 5. Laugh too loud at work today to hide how much I fade away. I've been budgeting joy like rent. Each moment feels already spent. They say take breaks, take care, unwind, but never how or where to find. Coffee cools before I sip. Plans fall through tight as my grip. Lonely in a world that never sleeps. Drowning in a sea of unread tweets. Where's the peace the poets praise? Not in the scroll, not in the haze, but in long walks past familiar trees. quiet grace of autumn leaves. The hardest part's admitting you're tired, not lazy, not weak, just uninspired. I'm not okay, but I still care, and sometimes that's all I can spare. Love's not loud, it's showing up, even when your cup's half up. So here I am, a little warm, but still worthy, still reborn. Oh, oh, oh. Coffee cools before I sip, plans fall through, tight as my grip. Lonely in a world that never sleeps, drowning in a sea of unread tweets. Where's the peace, the poet's praise? Not in the scroll, not in the haze, but in long walks past familiar trees and the quiet grace of autumn leaves. The hardest part's admitting you're tired, not lazy, not weak, just uninspired. I'm not okay, but I still care, and sometimes that's all I can spare. Love's not loud, it's showing up, even when your cup's half up. So here I am, a little warm, but still worthy, still reborn. Oh, oh, under death's whisper, 67% holding worry like a stone. From Lagos to London, hearts tally expenses, wishing for one free phone. In living rooms, the glow of screens narrates a ledger of fear, yet moonlight slips through curtains, a promise whispering near. We all breathe heavy with the weight of invisible loans, but even ink-stained sheets can't erase the grace we own. Burnout blooms global, 82% feeling edges fray at work's request. Emails like a distant tide, dragging our calm into unrest. I felt that sting of endless grind while trying to feel alive. Teacup shivers in my palm, reminding me I still survive. We trade vitality for survival, chasing numbers we don't see. But in the hush between the emails, we reclaim what can be free. Loneliness hides in crowded rooms. Who warns it kills in stealth? Yet a whisper of a voice, a single text becomes emotional wealth. Isolation brews diseases, but healing comes through shared sighs. In humble pauses of connection, truth begins to rise. We're all fractured, seeking pieces. One breath, one tear, one song, building bridges in quiet words, reminding us we belong. Burnout blooms global, 82% feeling edges fray at work's recoast. Emails like a distant tide, dragging our calm into unrest. I felt that sting of endless grind while trying to feel alive. Teacup shivers in my palm, reminding me I still survive. In candlelight white confessions. I fold shame into open hands. Confess my love for stillness as healing slowly stands. I call across miles, voice trembling. I'm here and I'm alive. They answer me too, and together our spirits revive. Emotional payback grows, tiny acts of care and grace, repaying burnout with kindness, leaving traces on our day. Burnout blooms, frugal, 82% feeling edges, fray at work's request. Emails like a distant tide, dragging our calm into unrest. I felt that sting of endless grind while trying to feel alive. Teacup shivers in my palm, reminding me I still survive. So tonight I map a path from ledger to light, from red alerts to soft horizons, bleached by morning's quiet sight. I vow to hold my own hand steady as a rock in tidal flow. Touch clarity like distant dawn, gentle on the low. We trade anxiety for calm breath, fund our souls with soft grace. Moonlight Ledger closes, leaving hope in its place. Burnout blooms global, 82% feeling edges, fray at work's request. Emails like a distant tide, dragging our calm into unrest. I felt that sting of endless grind while trying to feel alive. Teacup shivers in my palm, reminding me I still survive.
Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Nothing left in the fridge but light. Still I open the door every night, hoping tomorrow is grown in the cold. A quiet miracle my doubts can't hold. Late bills lean against the coffee pot, whispering truths that comfort for God. I used to sing to pass the empty hours. Now I hum happy melodies among the showers. The bathroom steam writes poems on glass. They drip like seconds I cannot grasp. My throat keeps rhythm with the dripping tap. A tiny concert nobody will clap. Oh, apartment walls are thinner than skin. I hear the neighbors laughing within. Joy sounds foreign yet strangely near, like a radio song I once held dear. It reminds me I'm capable of noise, even if silence has stolen my voice. Today I walked the long way home, counting the cracks, letting thoughts roam. A stranger nodded, eyes kind and brief. That fleeting moment felt like belief, not in perfection or sudden relief, but in shared exhaustion beneath the grief. I swept the floor, though dust returns, lit a candle just